I wanted to show you a little calculator that I have created that is designed to help you to be able to know how many posts do you need to put out on social media, how many people do you need to be speaking to, all of these kinds of numbers that most of the experts won't tell you. Now, here's the thing. Before we start this, I just wanted to give like a little preference. Now, this can be used whether you're a small business owner or whether you are an online business owner. The only differentiator is obviously in this section, you're just going to simply change the prices to whatever it is. Now, the other thing that I will say, when people come to me, quite often they say they have a $10,000 a month goal, because a lot of different people have said that's the minimum you have to earn. But here's the thing. When they're showing you the money that they make in Stripe, they're not showing you the whole picture. So for instance, they're not showing you all the money they've spent in ads. Maybe they have VAs, maybe they have call closers, all of these kinds of things that are not shown. So I wanted to create a little spreadsheet that you can use and play with as you know your numbers, because right now you may not know these numbers I'm about to show you. So I'm going to show you how to do educated guesses. But then as you start to get your numbers over a 90-day period, then you can come in, you can change it to what your real numbers are. Now, the other thing that I want to say here is if you are someone who is only doing low ticket, because yes, that is a really easy point to start with, but if you're someone who's only doing really low ticket prices, but you have a $10,000 goal or you have a bigger goal because you need to pay your bills, etc., then having a low ticket option only is going to really you're going to really struggle to hit your goals. So I want to just put in a $10,000 goal. Let's just go with 50% is going to be expenses, whether that is affiliate commission, subscriptions to things, programs you want to buy, electricity, all of that different kind of stuff. I'm just going to put it that we need to earn $15,000. Now, if you have a $9 product, you have to sell roughly 560, which is still nowhere near, as you can say. So if you only have a $9 product, maybe you have to sell, let's go with 1,000 or 1,200. And you will see that then gives you 10,080. So you're still nowhere near it. So let's go 1,500. So I'm doing this to show you, again, we're still below it. But as you can see, that would be approximately $1,600 sales that you have to make. Now, if 1 in 5 people say yes, that means on social media, you need to be generating 7,500 leads a month. So that means basically you need to be getting 7,500 conversations or 7,500 comments. Like, that is just an astronomical amount. Now, of course, with a low ticket thing, if you are smart, you can have your low ticket thing, which might be $9. Then you can have an upsell, like, would you like fries with that, for $27? And then you might have a couple of upsells, which you can put in here. But just having a low ticket option is not going to hit those bigger numbers, okay? So let's have a look at how this works. So what you're going to do is you're going to put in the amount here that you want to take home every month. Now, if you haven't seen that training, I have a training that I give to my clients, which talks about, well, what should your number be? So we start off with our essential number. Our essential number is what we need to cover the bills if all the money was to disappear. Then we have a comfort number. So this is like, being able to put your kids into activities or being able to take holidays or whatever. We have a comfort number that we work towards after we've gotten the stability number, the essentials number. And then we have a dreamline number, which is like where we could do whatever we wanted. We have that is our ultimate goal. But quite often people start with the dreamline number, and it's really overwhelming, especially if they've never sold anything online before. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that thought pattern to think about here as we go into it. So let's just go with a $10,000 goal because it's easy. Now, if you are someone who's maybe you're only doing 20% expenses or 10%, because if you're like me, you're really frugal on the tech subscriptions that you have, then what you can do is you can click on this field and you can come up to here, and instead of saying 0.5, it might be 0.2. You know how to do decimals from percentages. If it's, 35%, you would do 0.35 after the 1, so it would be 1.35 times whatever this number is here, okay? So now that's saying that we need to earn about $12,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some numbers here. So I have a $99 a month program. I also have a $25 a week program, and I have a $7.99 thing that I sell. Now I do other stuff, but I'm just going to keep it really simple for you. So let's just say I'm aiming to see the number that I need here. Okay, so let's go with 100 people buying the $25 thing a month. Let's go with 25 people paying the monthly subscription, and let's just say 2 in a month did that. Now, as you can see, if I had a $10,000 goal, that's still nowhere near my numbers. But let's go with 4 people. And this is where we start to look at what numbers do we need to have in here in order to be able to hit our goals, because it might be nice to have a $9 product, but if you can't hit your goals in a certain amount of sales, like I like to say 5 to 10 sales a week, then it starts to become a real struggle. Like it's easy to get overwhelmed. So instead of this, we might go up another 6. So this is where you're just playing with numbers based on your price tag. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, as you can see, this is huge numbers already, like 100 people every month being on a $25 program. Like that's a very decent amount of people we have to do anyway. Now, if I was going to say that 1 in 5 people, let's just be silly and say it's 1 in 10, because that's probably more realistic if you're just starting and maybe you don't have any sales skills. Then that means that in order to hit this number, we're going to need 1,000 people that we're talking to on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever. That is a huge number. So now you can see why we need to play with these numbers a little bit more. Now, that means if we have a 10% conversion rate, if here you can see we have a 20%, and this is all automatically calculating. So if you see this big red thing, that's not something you need to touch. You're only editing the numbers here. So as you're going through the month, you might be having like a little tally sheet. In my program, I give you like a tracking sheet to be able to track this easier. But what you do is you might be running through tallies. So when someone comments, you put 1 tally. When you actually talk to them in Messenger, you might put a tally in Messenger, and then you put a tally when they sell, so that you can know that I spoke to 100 people this month and 1 out of 10 of them said yes. Okay, so this is how you can start to track your own numbers. So this is how you know how many people. Now, if you don't want to talk to this many people on Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform it is that you're on, then you need to start to think about these numbers here. Or what you need to do is start working on creating more content, or creating, like getting better at converting. So obviously, if I go 1 in 5 people, you can now see I need half of the number of things. So this is where we develop skills. How do we get better at converting people from messengers to buying something, whatever the price tags is for you? And then how do we get better at maybe upselling them? So if I have a $25 thing, and then I have, let's say I have an order bump that's $27, and statistically with order bumps, the sales are somewhere in the vicinity of 30 to 60%. So I'm just going to go really small numbers, and I'm going to say 30 of them converted and bought that as well. Now you can see I've upsold. Now I could have on the back end, I might have a $99 thing as well. So now you can see how I have one offer, but I'm selling that one offer in multiple price points and multiple things. So what I do is I have one program, and inside that program, there are different modules. Now, I can sell the modules or a week's access to the modules for $25. I can sell the whole program for, let's say, $1,000. I can sell a section of it, like one module, for $99, and then I can upsell other modules. So like there's so many things that you could do, which is what we talk about in the Social Society membership. But I wanted you to have these numbers and to start thinking, okay, if the numbers are not looking like the way I want them to look, what do I need to do? Do I need to decrease my goal if I'm not willing to work that hard? Because realistically, that is something that some people have to do. Do I need to put upsells in place? Do I need to have higher price tag things, that one thing is leading to the next thing that leads to the next thing that's a higher price tag? Like, do I need to have a continuity program where, okay, they get access to my program for $25 a week, but if I can get 100 people doing that every month, and then the next month 50 of them stay, you can start to see how it adds up. So I just wanted to give you these numbers because most people won't show you these numbers. And then what happens is you get lost and you don't know how many posts to do. You don't know how many leads you need to. You don't know how many people you need to have on your list. And this shows you in just a matter of a fact way what your numbers need to look like, okay? So that's where we need to work on the skills of how can we get your website to convert better? How can we get you to convert better? Because let's just say that you do 32 posts in a month. So that's basically, let's just say one a day. So if you only get 2 comments, but you need to get 500 people, like there's going to be a discrepancy on problems. So we need to get better at the content part of it so that we get more comments. Or we need to get better at starting conversations, whether it be in Messenger or comments, so that like increasing the comment rate. So this is all of these little things are all skills you can develop, and they're things that we can get better at. But if you don't have something that's tracking and telling you the exact numbers, it is very easy to go off course, to get upset because you didn't hit your goals, when realistic it is a numbers game. Obviously, we run the numbers right with our conversations, but this is how you can start to reverse engineer. Because if you have a $10,000 goal, but you're kind of not really willing to speak to 500 people, there's a discrepancy there that's going to happen, right? Because we need 500 people running to our website if we want to make that goal a reality with our current conversion rate, okay? So this is what this little money mapping exercise is all about. I know some people are not going to like it because it is brutal at telling the truth, but when you can take control of these numbers, when you can grow these skills and practice these skills and get better at it, which is what we help you to do in this Social Selling Society, this is where you can now start to take control, and you can run and you can get better every single month.